Welcome back to VENN Arcade Live. Here's one that will give us all the feels. Who doesn't remember growing up playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater? Even if you don't, it's one of the all-time greatest sports games, and now Activision has remastered parts 1 and 2. The demo is available for download right now. All the original skaters and skate parks, plus a lineup of the next generation of skaters for you to choose from at home. And it's our pleasure to be joined by Riley Hawk, one of the pro skaters featured inside the remasters of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. Riley, man, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. And before we get going, you are joining us from San Diego, an area we were talking about. You know, I know well, you live there right now, you grew up there. What was it like kind of being in that culture of growing up around skaters and surfers and obviously in a house that was very passionate about skating?
I don't know. I guess I didn't realize how lucky I was to be kind of at the forefront of all that stuff. And I would say I tried to utilize it the best I could, you know, surfing and skating almost every day as a kid. And
it's part of the culture, man. It's only, if you go to San Diego, if you're not skating or surfing, people are asking, what are you doing there, basically? And it's a beautiful place. But, you know, I want to talk about not only just the skating, I want to talk about gaming. How much was that a part of your childhood growing up, and what kind of games were you playing as a kid?
I guess I was more so first playing my dad's game because he would bring it home when I was first getting started. And I remember playing when it was like, you know, you couldn't even see the levels finished. It was like a bunch of just like blue backgrounds and then like a street course. And
wow.
Played those, and you know, I played games with my friends like Halo and stuff like that when I was a kid.
Well, you kind of gave us the perfect segue here, because I do want to talk about the game at hand, the remasters of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. As we mentioned, the warehouse demo is out today, and with this remaster, there's new challenges, there's new missions and levels, but I want to know what's caught your eye and attention from all of these new features that the game's added.
I mean, I think it was just seeing it all crisp and seeing just the levels again for after so long, because you know I know that just those, like, you know, the secret tapes and all that stuff brings back a lot of frustration too, as well as good memories.
Good memories and frustration. I remember I first started trying to skate. I couldn't even ollie, man. At that point, I gave it up. I said, this is not going to be my future. But you've done a little something different. Back to the game, though, Riley. You can create your own skate park and create skaters. I know you mentioned you haven't really messed around with all the new features. Is this something you've experimented with at all?
I mean, I've sat in and seen my dad doing it, you know, along the way when he first started showing me that it was going to be redone and everything and remastered, and it's pretty cool. I think that, you know, kids that maybe didn't experience it the first time around will get pretty much the best version possible second time around, so it's kind of a win-win for everyone.
Of course, it goes without saying, such an iconic game for those growing up in the 90s, 2000s on PlayStation. And another cool feature is a very recognizable roster of pro skaters that you can find in the game, and dude, you're one of them. Talk to us about the process of being digitally scanned, put in the game, from the motion capture and just the experience of saying, wow, I'm in this game and I'm looking like me.
Yeah, it was a very humbling and interesting experience for sure, going into the studio and, you know, seeing how real it actually is and how much work goes into just creating one character is pretty wild. And it was you know, this big orb kind of thing that you sit in, and they take lots of photos, and you have to do lots of facial expressions and get real uncomfortable and awkward. And at the end, the end result is crazy. I mean, I've seen what my character looks like, and you know, some people told me they thought it was like a real photo at first glance. So it's kind of wild how they can just take a normal human and then turn it into a 3D rendition in a video game. And it's still kind of mind-blowing. I still don't fully understand it, but
yeah, no, Riley, I mean, you know, you can play as yourself, which is a feat, but now it's unusual to have a game where you can play as yourself, you can play as your dad. So I have a question. Has your dad played as you, and have you played as your dad yet in this new remaster?
My dad, when he was first kind of showing me the first models of the game, I was in it, and I was one of the characters that was already in it. Maybe I did the scanning first or something, one of the first people, but I didn't have any hair. I was just fully bald, and he was playing as me with no hair, and it was pretty funny, but it was a trip seeing myself in it, for sure.
Are you going? Is that the next look, man? Or it's shaving the head off anytime soon?
I mean, who knows? I'm sure one day I'm gonna have to eventually here, you know.
Before we let you go, Riley, you're not only a pro skater, but I do hear you're a musician as well. What is this about, you know, you jamming out with Jack Black?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I call myself as a musician, but I play some instruments here and there. But yeah, it was kind of a whole thing with us going up, and I don't really understand how it came about, honestly. But next thing you know, I was standing right there in that video, so it was pretty wild. I mean, Jack Black's a big hero of mine, not just, you know, super nice, humble dude, and that's always a pleasure when you meet someone who's a hero and they're just as cool as you hope they would be.
That's awesome footage too. And Jack Black, a gamer as well. These guys on YouTube channel, but Riley, we're so excited to play as you as well. A reminder, the warehouse demo of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is available today, and the full game will be available Friday, September 4th. Thank you again so much for joining us, Riley.